I can be here for a long time until you tell me what I need to know.
Hey everyone, Alexander back at you with another video. Today we're talking C-RAW or Canon RAW within the C400 and the C80, particularly addressing the workflow and the noise levels that are introduced while filming in this codec. As we know by now, if you're on the C80 or C400, you have to be utilizing a RAW codec in order to get the full sensor or that 6K resolution while you're filming. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about my workflow options. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Detective, I think he's doing a little bit of a better job than you.
You mouse freaks are all the same. You want to play games? Well, be prepared to stay here for a while.
First and foremost, as I mentioned, you have to be filming in C-RAW to get 6K on the C400 and C80. And we know while filming in RAW codecs, you're going to be introducing a little more noise in your footage. Now, just a few years back when we heard RAW, us filmmakers, videographers, we were a little turned off because that meant post-production nightmare. Well, Canon and a lot of other companies these days have really developed their RAW workflow to be a lot more enhanced, giving us more options as filmmakers and videographers to be utilizing that RAW footage for our projects. RAW footage, if you are not aware, you're going to get higher bit rate usually. You're going to have better color options. You're going to have better dynamic range. A lot of benefits to filming RAW. However, there are some disadvantages as well, particularly your workflow. As I mentioned, you're going to need more processing power. You're going to need heavier SD cards or CF Express cards. Oftentimes you're going to have to record externally depending on what camera you're using, but one of the benefits to the C400 is it's very nice and enhanced internal recording capabilities. One of the disadvantages to RAW footage is the noise levels that are introduced. Typically your RAW footage is going to be a little noisier. That's just the nature of the game. You can mitigate all of this by finding your camera's sweet spot, and your sweet spot is your base ISO. One of the advantages of the C400 and the C80, which really makes it stand apart from other cinema cameras on the market, is its triple base ISO. The triple base ISO is going to give you 3 distinct sweet spots within your camera's sensitivity to film at a higher camera sensitivity while mitigating your noise levels while filming in RAW. These base levels on the C400 and C80 are ISO 800, 3200, and 12800. If you're filming at a random ISO point, and here's a little backstory. When I first got the C400, I got it out of the box. I put it in RAW HQ, and I went out and I filmed the whole wedding. I was out 8 hours. And then I got back, and in post, I saw that there was a lot of noise, particularly in my low light scenes during the reception where we're filming at night. And I was immediately a little frustrated, went to the forums, went to Canon's website, and of course, I wasn't thinking you have to be filming in one of the native ISOs to reduce noise levels. I thought it was just a RAW workflow thing. So filming at ISO 800, 3200, 12800 is going to be the sweet spot for you on the C80 or C400. If you deviate outside of those base points while filming in RAW, you're going to have a lot more noise in your footage. So should you just film in XFABC to avoid noise altogether? Well, no, you're still going to have plenty of more benefits than cons while filming in RAW, particularly in just managing more information. You're going to have that 12-bit color. You're going to have a lot more advantages in post when filming in RAW. Don't get me wrong, XFABC at C-Log2 is still great. You're still going to have a lot of options, but if you're wanting full capabilities of post-production workflow and or full resolution, you're going to want to film in RAW. You can see here 2 projects I filmed here in my home studio. The one shot of me here is 4K XFABC utilizing C-Log2, and the one here of my wife is utilizing C-RAW LT at 12-bit 6K. You can see also that I have better post-production capabilities in punching in, making 9:16 content at 6K and at RAW, obviously, which is to be expected. So that's also another benefit. If you know you want to punch in on your footage, go ahead and film in RAW, which is going to give you that 6K advantage. All right, in summary, we took a look at the Canon RAW and its features, especially in low light, and addressed some of the noise levels and how to mitigate that noise in your footage. Canon RAW is a great workflow, great codec to use for your C400 and C80, in my opinion. Probably one of the only ones I would use for most of my projects. The only time I would not use Canon RAW is for projects exceeding over an hour. If I'm filming a 90-minute podcast or a full length corporate event or a wedding ceremony, I'll probably go down to an MP4 file format. but for most of my projects, I'm filming in Canon RAW Lite. I have the internal storage capabilities and processing capabilities, and then I also have the computing power, so why not? If you don't have that computing power, there's always proxy files. It's just going to add an additional step to your post-production workflow, but still an option for you nonetheless. I hope this has been helpful, and yeah, stick around. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.